Raywin.
What?
Because usually you say, hi, I'm Adrienne.
Oh, hi. Oh, sorry. Okay, go again. Hi, I'm Adrienne Pickering.
Hi, I'm Raywin Pickering, and we're
We're
sisters. And I'm a comedian / farmer.
And I am an actor. And this is our podcast where we're going to talk to people
in creative fields, because we are so curious how they do it. Is it a job?
Yes. Is it a long-term hobby? Is it just dappling? Is it a job? We hope
do you
that
have
it's
to
a job.
pivot
and
and do other things? Is that better to do other things? To
How do
have
you
a
do it?
balance? How do you do it?
How do you feel like you're a good person and also have
And pay the rent.
and shelter your family during a storm?
Yes,
How do you
especially in
achieve
Australia.
Practical
'cause-
questions we've got to
Exactly.
ask other creatives.
Yes, which today we've got an amazingly creative person. She is a singer, songwriter, lead guitarist as well. I have enjoyed listening to so many of her
good.
albums. She
Aw,
is
yeah.
Cute.
in bands such as Hiace and Opelousas, as well as under her own name,
Yeah.
Alison Ferrier.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me
Welcome.
today.
Oh, thank you so much for
Very nice.
joining us.
It's a very nice intro. And all the things you said just prior to that, yes. I mean, I would say number one, you're not really going to be a creative if you really love money.
yeah.
I think is
Yeah.
the
Just the sooner you understand, you
Yeah,
got to let
sooner
go
you
of
will
some
be.
things.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. That measure of success
Mm.
that your average kind of person
Mm.
would think of is not the way we measure
Yeah.
success. And what does that even mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to kind of change that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you do. I went to a wedding, a cousin's wedding, and they were all sort of corporate types, Sydney types, and they were very nice, but they obviously couldn't quite comprehend what
Yes.
I do. And I would say I'm a musician, and they'd say, "Oh, have we heard of you?" And I'm like, "Probably not, no."
Yeah.
And like, are you successful? The amount of times that I got asked
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Just asking straight out. are
Like,
you
yeah.
Are you
successful?
successful? And by the sort of third glass of champagne, I went, "Are
Yeah.
you successful?"
Yeah. What is success? I'm happy.
Who asks that?
Yeah.
Are you successful? And eventually, I said, look, I work for myself. People pay money to come and see me, and I make music, and I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me what to write, how to record it, how to produce it. I do the artwork. I make all the decisions.
Wow.
I have 100% creative control, and people pay for my product. So yes, I am very
Yeah.
successful.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Good on you.
Because again,
Very articulate.
it made me
Yeah.
think, what does that mean?
Yes.
Success.
Exactly.
And most people measure it by money.
They do.
Absolutely. I
Right?
think that's why
Yes.
we kind of started this. I mean, both of us, like, we grew up in it's a very country town. It's a small town in southeast Queensland. And like a lot of the time when we go back, you get asked like, oh, do you get paid for that? Because
Yeah.
I've been doing comedy like a long time, but it's not enough to support me. I get paid for gigs, but I
Yeah.
like doing other things as well. But yeah, the amount of times people are so blunt, they're like, do you get paid for that?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they think it's a hobby otherwise.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
sometimes you do have to do things and not get paid for them because
Well, yes, there's that big it's called the investment
Yeah.
Investment
stage.
phase.
We talked about that.
Which
yeah,
comes
where
back again. You think that it might just be those first few years, and then sometimes it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
You find
a
yourself back in the investment phase.
if you worked out like your hourly pay with all the work you do
Yeah.
as a creative behind the scenes, the travel,
Oh,
and then you're on
yeah.
stage for 45 minutes, and then you'd sort of go, wow, so yeah, if I broke it down to
absolutely.
the work hours that you actually put in writing your material,
Absolutely.
choosing outfits,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people make most of their money. I mean, the Melbourne comedy scene is set up for the festival. So everyone does their festival show. That's a 1-month period. Like, yes, there are festivals beforehand, but a lot of people earn their entire yearly salary from that.
from that.
Yeah,
Yes.
from that 1 month.
Yep.
But like, there are
That's why everyone's so
hours and
stressed when they come
hours
on
like
this
of
stuff.
traveling to other gigs and like doing these 5-minute, 10-minute spots
Yep.
everywhere to get
Well,
those jokes.
developing the show, right?
Exactly.
Which is writing
So,
the
which you
show.
don't get paid
It's sort of
for,
like
or maybe you get
writing an
paid in
album.
like
Yeah.
Rehearsing.
in like
Yeah.
drink cards.
Yeah, yeah,
Often
drink
you
cards.
get paid to like, okay, great.
Funnily enough, I just found a drink card from
Can
Memo.
I give that to my daughter and she can give it to the school?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm keeping that. It's still valid.
Yeah.
Taking that.
Exactly.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you do sort of you think about the venues that obviously the ones that pay you fairly. If you're a performer,
Yeah.
I mean, do you do theatre, Adrian?
I haven't for a little while just
Yeah.
because of the family lifestyle doesn't
Yes.
quite fit right now.
Yeah, so
But
you've got
I
children.
have,
and,
I
yeah.
have, and I would
Yeah.
like to again. Yeah.
So, you probably don't get as much choice in venue as an actor
No.
because
No.
you're in this play and it's going to be where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you don't get to choose
It's
that.
like either
Totally.
you move or
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not in
you
it.
need to go wherever
where you're
actor-
told to
yeah,
go.
wherever
Yeah,
the
that's
work
right.
is an
Whereas,
actor.
for musicians and probably for comedians as well, you've got a sort of an amount of venues that you say, well, these are the places I can perform at. But some of them
Yeah.
treat you better than others, and so you
Yeah.
go, I'm going to go back there. The deal's better. I like the staff. I feel more comfortable
Yeah.
there. So then it sort of narrows it down again, and there might be venues that you go, oh, I don't know about that one, but yeah, I guess better go and play there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, the
Yeah.
ones that are more popular and treat the artists really well and generously, everybody wants to go and play there. So,
Yeah.
then you have to wait 6
High
months to get a gig.
competition. Yeah.
And also,
Wow.
you can't oversaturate your market, right? I mean,
Well,
as
yeah.
an actor, I would say that you probably would if you're in a success, there's that word, a popular
show.
show, then you might get work from that,
Yeah.
or you might get typecast.
Sort of, but I actually think it works to your advantage here. Like Australia, people love oversaturating the market. I feel like the more you get, the more you do, the more, and
That's
and it
good.
really so. There's often like a few people you see in everything all
Yeah.
the time, and even people who aren't in the industry say to me like, "Why are they in everything?"
Yeah.
And it's sort of it's
Because it's
small,
a small
Yeah.
scene, right?
Yeah, and they're sort of like, "Ooh, she's hot right now."
Yeah,
and
there's a
all
real
this, and
like
so it's
Anna
like a
Torv moment or
momentum.
something.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and everyone is deserving of it because they're all great, and so
Yeah.
you sort
Yeah.
of like can't begrudge anyone for it because
No.
hey, like it's
But it's a
you know,
small
riding that
population.
wave.
Take it.
Yeah,
And I guess a smaller pool of people who have
absolutely.
been working, and so then they tend to get picked.
Yeah,
I mean, that happens in the creative
Yeah.
field in general, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're seen to be a mover and shaker,
yeah.
then you're going to be.
It's a bit of momentum, isn't it?
Yes, it is
Like,
momentum.
We all like that. We're all sort of attracted to that. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're if you recognize them, and then people sort of think, oh well, they're really doing something. They're successful in quotes.
Yeah.
So it kind of snowballs.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah.
because there is that kind of expectation that, that people are only going to be interested if you're well known.
Yes.
So
I
then
think
you'll
in
be
the
added.
States, there's a bit of a different. It might have changed slightly now, but there was always a more appreciation of like finding that,
Yes.
like the hidden person who was about like to find the discovery, like
Yeah.
to discover the person.
You
There
get
was,
the next new thing.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
much more an embracing of like
Unknown talent.
unknowns
Yep.
and the surprise of someone new.
Yes.
Whereas we're much more conservative here, I think, in
Yeah.
that sense. And we do want something that is more predictable or that we know is already good, and we'll align ourselves with someone
Yep.
who's already had the hit.
And when I think about it, if you're sort of scrolling through one of the streaming sites, you do kind of go, oh, there's that actor. I know that.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I
you
liked
might
them
check
in
it
that
out.
show.
Right,
right?
yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
happening a fair bit at the moment.
Yeah.
I just was I watched White Lotus,
Ah,
all 3 seasons. And then the very
Ah.
next thing we've started watching is
Has
the,
someone-
what are they called? The Fabulous Gemstones? The
Oh, Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
And one
Yeah,
of the
that's a good
actors that
one.
was in White Lotus is also in that. We're like, oh, there you go. Flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Completely different part.
Ah.
But anyway, I
Wow.
digress. Yes.
Well,
so
I'm interested in how you got into music, like even as a like in
Chasing
school.
cash.
a youngster.
Yeah, yeah,
Chasing cash.
yeah, yeah.
Look, I would say I've always really loved music from a very, very early age.
Yeah.
Apparently, when I was a toddler and still sort of toilet training, I'd be sitting on the potty and then Jolene would come on the radio by Dolly Parton.
Oh.
So this would have been in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I would come running, apparently. Jolene. So I think country music, had a sort of...
Hopefully you'd finished whatever you needed on the potty before
Who
you
knows?
sprinted out.
Who knows? Probably not. But,
the beauty of toilet training.
Yeah.
oh, yes. Isn't it wonderful?
Where the whole world is
The whole world is
Yeah.
in the toilet. Yeah. Carry that potty around and put it down anywhere you like. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. So, my parents weren't musical, but my dad was very passionate about music. And I think he sort of...
Just a real listener.
A real listener
appreciator.
and appreciator. He could sing. And I think he probably should have been a musician. But so he sort of taught me that, the importance of music, I think. And so it was always seen and respected and seen as something that's really important part of life, So, and so growing up, but I was extremely shy. And so I always wanted to perform, but I was crippled with shyness. And so, and my first musical experience, I went to a Church of England primary school in England. And so I was born in southwest London. And I was in a play, a musical play that was performed in the church. It was about when Jesus was, what's his name? Judas Iscariot, when he comes up and kisses him on the cheek.
Okay. Yeah.
And I played Judas. I would have been about, I guess like 8 or something.
Yeah.
And I've always been tall for my age. So I was usually cast as a guy. So I was Judas, and I remember singing and 30 pieces of silver, whatever the song was, and the music teacher told me off and said, we all know what Alison Ferrier sounds like. We want to know what Judas Iscariot sounded like.
Oh my goodness.
If I was, to go back and say something, I'd say
to a child, especially
I'm an 8-year-old girl. I don't think Judas Iscariot sounded like an 8-year-old girl. But also, I don't think he sang this song to Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah.
happened.
I don't think historically that is an accurate thing.
So does it actually matter?
Yeah, do we have
And it's
recordings
also
of
pretty
his
subjective
voice?
anyway.
Yeah.
Too.
So the fact that she thought perhaps that my voice could break or something and I
Yeah.
could be a
Wow.
man,
I think
anyway.
there might be a bit of jealousy there. She wanted to
Maybe.
her inner Judas.
Yeah.
She really wanted to be Judas.
I think you
Wow.
might have
She
something
had
there.
a really
Yeah.
strong feeling of what it was.
She was jealous of my immense
Yeah.
talent.
Well, maybe she saw the immense talent
Yeah,
and
she
in her
saw you-
own backwards way was also just like trying
You
to
singing
get
and-
cut loose.
Holding the notes.
But there
Oh,
are kind of
man.
ways.
The fact that I was
to
up
be
there
so
doing it at
mean.
all. Yeah. Anyway, so that was my sort of first experience, and I think it put me off, and it's like, oh, I'm no good. It's amazing those little things that happen to you when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Humiliation,
Wow.
it stays with you.
Shame,
But anyway, it is a shame. But that was early. And then, I played recorder at school like everybody in England did.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Hot
sure if
cross
that's a thing
buns.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 blind mice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe that's why the music
There's
teacher
a
was
lot
so
of-
much a bitch, because she had to listen to whole classes.
Look, that's not how Judas would play the recorder.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so but that's how I learned to read
Wow.
music.
Oh, from
So-
the recorder.
Yep. And then I got a Beatles book for recorder,
Yeah.
and I learnt those little tunes. And and then I sort of picked up, my brother had a classical guitar. I know, it's so funny.
but on recorder.
See, life was very different.
Yeah.
Yep, that was me.
Destroy the
Really like
Everyone.
rocking out recorder solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to
Yep.
do that.
Oh, God.
Children's choir of grade 2s playing
recorder.
recorder more like gently.
Wow, that would be
I love
amazing.
that there was a book.
Oh yeah, for a
Beatles
recorder.
book of songs for
Yeah.
the recorder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, and so that's probably where my love of playing music started.
Yeah.
I've always really liked playing melodies rather than chords for some reason. It's probably to do with the recorder. Then I at secondary school, I learnt the flute and used to go and have lessons with my best friend at the time, Amanda. And but the funny thing was, she used to actually she couldn't play the flute without making a sound like a kazoo. You know, like
yes.
so it'd be like, okay, now your turn. So we had lessons together, and she'd be like, no, Amanda, you don't use your voice. You just do the embouchure, and then you blow. Okay, and she'd do it like pretend, this pen is the flute, and then she'd blow, and it would be fine. And then okay, and now, and she'd be like, I'd be like, Amanda, just stop! Don't do that. And so I got a bit annoyed with that. I was quite good at flute.
Yeah.
Not bad, not terrible, not great, but, it wasn't very rock and roll. I think Jethro Tull was the only sort
You
of
had
band.
Yeah, right.
You had those kind of influences.
I was
of
getting
like
towards the...
Led Zeppelin kind
Yes.
of like you wanted to be a bit more.
By the time I
hardcore.
reached the teens, I was starting to go, rock and roll a
Gotta
bit
pick
more.
What
up
is
a
that
guitar.
band that does have a flute? Is it Jethro Tull?
Jethro Tull.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He played flute.
That's right.
He would stand on one leg with the other
Yeah.
foot, in that yoga
Yeah.
pose.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
gonna
kind of
say
like the
that.
Pied
That was-
Piper or something.
Yes.
Yeah, like cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it didn't really float my boat. So,
Yeah.
and then I was finding my my
Well-
brother's guitar, and I started teaching myself from his
Ah.
books when he was out, and it was like
okay, you weren't supposed to be.
I wasn't
playing
supposed
it.
to be in his
Secret.
room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and in fact, my
Being
friend Amanda at the
rebellious by
time
playing guitar.
Yeah, we weren't allowed in her brother's room either, but he was way more nasty and violent, and he would leave a long hair across the door, and if that hair was broken, he knew we'd been in his room,
Whoa.
and
That's
he'd attack her. But yeah, my brother
Ugh.
didn't do that, but so I would go in his room and I'd play his like Iron Maiden records, and
Yeah.
he also had blues
Wow.
cassettes that he'd sort of pilfered from a shop,
Yeah.
because I don't think he would have
Had much
afforded to
money,
buy
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And so I'd listen to his records. So he was a big influence on
Wow.
me.
Yeah.
So
Musically.
he obviously played. Does he still play? Or
He
did
does,
play
but more
as
just
an
a hobby.
adult, or, yeah,
Just
yeah.
a hobby. Yeah, he was in a band when he was a teenager, and I thought that was
The
amazing.
coolest. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was a bass player, and he had a band called Tristan Pipping, which is a spoonerism. Give you a
Pi-
minute.
Piston tripping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to say it. Quite make sense.
I don't know why my brain took so long to like work.
Suddenly, like an intelligence test.
Yeah. Like, hang on, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was pretty amusing. I don't know that any of the parents understood what the
Right.
joke was, but obviously
Yeah.
us cool teenagers,
It's less
we
cool when you have
understood.
to explain it, I guess.
So I'd go and watch him, and then, but I think the first time I properly performed would have been doing karaoke at about 18, and there was I did a Led Zeppelin song, and then this guy who was running the
wow.
karaoke, it was at my local pub, and I'd obviously had enough beer to go and get up and do it.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And he was like, you should come and join the blues jam on a Sunday or whatever. And I
awesome.
never did.
Oh.
I was just too shy. So then fast forward a few years, and then I moved out here to Australia when I was 23. And that was in 1998, back last century.
Oh.
And then, so my housemates and I would go to all these festivals and things, and then I met my husband, my now husband, who's called Jeff Lang, and he's an amazing
Yeah.
guitar player, singer, songwriter.
Also huge in the music scene.
Yeah. And so he was playing at Byron Bay, and I knew a friend of his because I lived in Queensland to start with on the Sunshine Coast, and then. I was only going to come out for 6 months, but then here I am.
Oh.
Many
Hell
years
in
later.
love.
Yeah, I extended the stay
Yeah.
and had a business sponsorship visa. I was working in IT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Very sensible.
hating it.
Oh
hated
no.
it.
So that was sort of going on parallel to this like sort of burgeoning love of music.
Music,
It was
yeah,
also
exactly.
like, well,
That was my passion.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Oh,
Okay.
but you
So
weren't like in,
I wasn't doing
in
anything.
a band and
No.
doing it would just
No.
be like
I just never thought I
listening
just
to Iron Maiden.
exactly
yeah.
singing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't have any
Oh,
confidence
do you
that
think-
I didn't think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I didn't think I'd be able to do it.
So yeah, it's interesting. So did you ever have like guitar lessons as a kid? So so there was no one to kind of like cheer you on in that way.
No, never.
That's
never,
so interesting
never.
because your brother had the guitar. Like,
Yeah.
how come he got the guitar and you didn't?
I think it was because it was seen as a
Confidence.
Yeah.
guy's instrument.
Yeah.
Girls, here play flute.
Yeah, right.
Or
True.
also, it's sort of about what you can afford at the time and what your
Well,
family can
absolutely.
afford.
Yeah.
I think we would have had a piano if we'd had the room.
Yeah.
That would have been good to learn, actually. But anyway, look, so guitar, I did like guitar. I never sort of, I never thought of myself as a potential lead guitar player.
Yeah.
That sort of came with time. But once I met my husband, and then he was touring all the time, and then it was like we didn't get to see each other. And eventually he's like, why don't you just quit your job and come on the road? I don't know, you can help me sell merch or something. But otherwise we just never see each other, and this is awful. So so I did that.
Wow.
And
were you writing songs as well? So you were doing this IT. You weren't?
no, nothing
Wow.
at all.
Wow.
So quite a late starter. And then once I was on the road with him, and I would see many, many shows, and I would sort of say something like, I think they were compressing your guitar, because it would be sort of loud, and then the louder you played, it got quieter. And he was like, you can hear that. You should be my sound person.
Oh, yeah.
So he taught me the basics of audio, and I read this book by Duncan G. Fry. I'll never forget it. And it was pretty old. And I taught myself how to do
sound mixing kind of for live performance.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
just because you had a natural like good ear for it.
he's like, you've got an ear for it. You can tell the difference between, and I could understand what he was talking about. So
wow.
So then threw myself in at the deep end. He would do festivals and things. In fact, the first gig I mixed was down in Geelong, and it was Jeff and Chris Wilson. And I had no idea what I was doing. And so I kept running up to the stage and going, what does this button do? And
running up to the stage while he's playing. Hold on.
The guy here says,
while he's singing.
He's trying to communicate to you. It's C flat.
No, the buttons on the desk don't say C flat.
Okay.
But nice try.
Of course, yeah.
Rowan. I'm not actually playing the music from the desk.
Reverb?
No, yes, absolutely.
All those
yes, there's
terms?
reverb. Yep. There's gain,
Oh,
gain.
yeah.
EQ, things like that.
yeah.
Look,
Gain,
and
is there loss?
there's
Loss
not
and
loss.
No, okay. Just gain.
I like this world.
Yeah.
Very good. I like and then, so, I'd go to the States with him. He'd be playing at festivals, big festivals, and I was up there.
You come in just in black.
I used to smoke ciggies back then, and I
just to fit in.
chain smoking, and terrified because I had no idea and I didn't know the names of things, and so
stressful.
it was so stressful.
You might want to go back to IT. Right? It's like a hard job to have taken on.
And I remember, this is early 2000s, and I think I only met one other female soundy in the whole world,
wow.
and so to start with, it would be hot, so I'd be wearing a summer dress, and then I realized, no, don't do that. So it was black jeans, black singlet,
Got
and I'd be like,
attention.
hello.
Yeah, the stinkier, the sweatier, the
Yep,
better.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of not be all nice. I had to kind of be, hey, yeah, I'm here to do the sound, because there'll be someone with the equipment usually, and then you walk in.
Yeah.
And then if they were nice and friendly, then I could be myself. But otherwise, So I learned a lot about.
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
a
of
tough
how
world
to-
to get into.
It was a very, very male-dominated world.
Yeah.
It still is, but there's a hell of a lot more women doing it now, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And some really great sound engineers out there. So did that, and that was kind of like a great experience, because I got to see and witness so many people play. So he'd be on bills with other people, there'd be festivals. So it was like an apprenticeship of sorts to being a musician, because I'd be watching so much and really listening intensely. And not only did I learn how to become a good sound engineer, but I also, so if there was a really nice sound engineer that I was working with, then I could pick their brain. And then I'd say, listen, I've only been doing this for a few months. And then they'd say, okay, let's go through some, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
And some of those people I still know today, and
Wow. Yeah.
amazing. So, I just learned, I guess it's that sort of, I've always had a bit of a punk attitude that it's like, I want to have a go at that. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And guys do that stuff all the time, right?
They
They bullshit their way into situations. And
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't really matter. We get all worked up about doing the wrong thing. Or what if I make
We
a
do.
mistake?
Do
What
it
if I wear a
perfect.
flowery dress and
Yes.
everyone thinks I'm silly?
Yes.
But,
who cares?
who cares
Own it.
ultimately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about learning
doesn't
about.
really matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it takes a long time. And
yeah.
you do sort of think, well, if I'm going to be accepted into this man's world, then I'm going to have to kind of act more like a guy to
Yeah.
be
I mean,
that's
accepted
just
and
smart,
respected.
I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
to
just sort of
exist
survival.
there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. You sort of you've got to be a bit malleable.
I did resent it though.
To not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have to. Like,
Ugh.
it sort of just sucks that you have
It
to.
really
because you
sucks.
waste so much energy doing that rather
Yep.
than just being your own self
Being yourself.
and
Yeah.
being able to ask questions openly. And,
Yes.
it's just such a waste of energy.
Yeah,
But
exactly. And unfortunately,
it's-
that's just the way it is, right? Nobody wants to make a fool of themselves. I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. You don't
Yes.
want to embarrass yourself, and so you you say as little as possible and just go, "Yep, I'll see if I can get away with this." I'd say things like, "Are you through the mic?" Because I'd be up in a big booth and he'd be miles away down on the stage, and I'd just say through the monitors to him, to my husband, are you using the silver mic or the black mic today? And then the guy with the PA would say, oh, I like how you have your nicknames there for the mics. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm thinking, because I know what they're called now.
What it means, right.
So it's like,
We're using the technical language.
I don't
But who
care what they're
cares?
called,
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's how so I'd watched so many people. I saw some amazing musicians, like especially over in America, Gillian Welsh and Dave Rawlings, a tiny little
yeah.
stage,
Wow.
sitting like this far away from them,
Really? Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
gosh.
And, when people were just starting out and, just was blown away and thinking, I would love to do that, and so that the
What was
the
it
good
that you
thing-
loved about it? Like the music, or was it sort of
the
the
music,
live
yep.
performance, the holding of people's attention, or what is
It's
it?
I think it's the creativity and it's the performance. It's not so much about because I still don't like when people are watching me on stage. Like I do, I've had to overcome that
Yeah.
terror of being looked at on stage.
Yes.
And you do have to kind of develop a bit of a, not so much a persona, but you have to kind of switch onto that. Okay, I'm on stage now, and people are going to look at me. You have to
Yeah.
be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So it's never been about look at me.
Yeah.
It's about it's the creative. It's the making something from nothing.
Yeah.
Writing a song. It's so hard to describe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like I have this need to do that. I was into art as a kid and loved painting, and I did art at college and stuff and photography, and it never quite satisfied me though. And so, but it's music. Music's the thing, definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think watching people that mesmerize you,
Mm-hmm.
that they take you somewhere else, and it's like a meditation almost, isn't it? It could be beautiful music that makes you feel calm. It could be music that makes you cry. It could be music that excites you and makes you want to dance and jump around. It's nothing about like the power of holding someone's attention. It's there is that lovely group feeling that you get when you're in a room together and you're all on the same page. And when people are really into what you're doing, it's pretty magical, I've got to say. Yeah, pretty magical. And if people
Wow.
come up afterwards and say, that I just closed my eyes and you just took me to a different place or something,
Yeah.
I just think that's pretty special because I know
Yeah.
what that's like. And if I can do that for someone, then amazing.
Wow.
So it took a while, but because I'd already been used to getting on stage and rolling leads and setting up and packing up and doing the sound, it was a really great step for me, a stepping stone into not being scared to go and even walk on a stage because I'd done
Yeah.
it a million times, and having that technical knowledge really helps as a performer, because you can go, oh, it's all right, this isn't plugged in, or if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
So, and also when you're first starting out, you often have to kind of do your own sound at a little bar or something, and that really helps if you have that knowledge. But
also, just seeing so many performers normalizes it a bit.
Yes.
Because you're on tour and you're just seeing like performer after performer after performer.
Yeah.
Like, you just walk out on stage.
You walk out on stage
sit
and
down,
start singing.
Start singing,
I mean,
whatever you're going to do. Like,
but stage fright was terrible for me.
The more you're exposed to it,
What was
Yeah,
your first,
definitely.
What was your first gig? Like?
So I would have done some open mics to start with, and just would have almost wet myself, like just terrified.
Yeah.
It took years to get over that for me. Actually, I just it's like, oh God, I can
and
do
playing
this at
your
home.
own songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, open mics now, I was probably doing covers, and
Yes.
but I had started writing songs by then.
Is that how like most musicians would try to like get into the scene, or you'd start out with maybe the open mics of like you
I
test
think if
it
you're,
out, and then you can start curating your
Yes,
own
you're in bands
audience.
too,
Yes,
right?
that's
Yeah.
it.
So,
So-
had that happened for you yet?
No, like I never sort of had. I just didn't have like a crew around me who were wanting to be in a
when
band.
You're touring,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
probably as well. And so you're
True,
being the sound
true.
engineer and touring for someone
Yeah.
else. Pretty hard to form your own connections and be in a band.
That's
and,
so true.
Turn up and
That's
do
so
your
true.
own stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then I did meet a friend at another friend's wedding who was sort of saying, "Oh yeah, I play a bit as well, and I'd really like to perform, but too scared to do it on my own." So we formed a little duo called the Wayward Fancies.
Perfect.
And so we started writing songs. We did a few country covers, and because they're sort of, often country songs are sort of 3 or 4 chords, and so you don't need to know too much technicalities of music, so you can just go and play those. And I did, so I'd been playing at home, but I didn't know much. I didn't know that many chords. I could play a few covers, but not many. And I just wanted to start writing my own stuff, to be honest. And so they were very, very simple songs, usually 3 chords, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And so we went and performed. I did some open mics, and then did some gigs with Jules, this lady I was in a duo with, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And because it was 2 of us, I didn't feel like all the attention was on me.
Yes.
So that was good. We took turns singing lead, and we learnt harmonies, and I started. Oh, I was also playing violin. I forgot to mention that.
wow.
I was teaching myself violin on the road when I was
Wow.
doing sound. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I play a bit of violin, and found a really nice one over in America, and got a book, and I'm very self-taught. I'm not very good at lessons. I've short attention span, and so
No,
It sounds like a hard one to learn, like teaching yourself violin. Sounds like
It
another
is-
kind of torture to
it
me.
is tricky.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I loved the sound of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something about like
That's
an
probably your
instrument like that.
technical brain with the sound too.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it take a while with violin to make a nice sound?
Not really.
little
Well,
squeaky
if
to
you're a
begin with?
kid, you maybe. I don't know. I seemed to. I did
Maybe
all
I've
right
heard
with
too
it.
many kids playing violin.
Yeah, that's squeaky. Often it's the violin itself as well. But yeah, it's about how you hold the bow and how much pressure you're putting on the strings. So yeah, but I just love the sound of it, and I was very lucky actually, really to sort of get to see so many people play, and then I could ask them things.
Yeah.
You get to hang out.
Yeah.
So
But
that
it
was sort
takes
of
so much drive. Like you really do. Like it seems like you've just got this kind of internal sense of what you want to do because you're like, I'll just learn that. Like most people will be like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't just do that myself. I need to find someone.
I
to
think
teach
like
me.
it sounds
Yeah.
like propelled by love of and an interest in
Yes.
the thing
Yeah.
and a curiosity
Yeah.
to learn that, which can just happen
Yeah.
organically when you do really
when
love
you're really
something.
interested.
spot on.
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on, because and I think also I didn't realize that not everybody was as passionate
Yes.
about music as I was.
It feels very natural.
It
to
does
you.
when you're young, and especially because a lot of young people are into music, teeny boppers,
Yeah.
and you're into whatever. I was, hugely into like Madonna when I was 12, and
Oh. Yeah.
and then it's sort of, then I kind of left the pop music behind, and sort of went more to the rock and roll side of things, and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and I mean, I've always loved the Beatles since the Recorder days.
Yeah.
But and a lot of the British blues as well that I still love today, and that's a big influence on me. But I always thought I'm a girl. I don't have a blues voice. I've got this sort of soft, girly voice. It's probably that Judas Iscariot.
Judas.
Like,
bring out the Judas.
Yes. No one wants to hear you.
No, you're
So
too
it's like-
girly.
You're too girly. Yeah. So I just thought I can't do that.
Those things stay with us.
Right. And then it sort of dawned on me after, listening to lots of different music and thinking, no, hang on, that's a bit of a bluesy song that such and such is singing. And why can't I just sing it with my own voice? I don't have to try and put on a blues voice or, like a gravelly.
Like Louis Armstrong.
Just sing with your own voice.
I mean,
crazy. I mean, because when you think about jazz is so heavily linked with blues.
Yeah.
That the jazz singers, you've got Billie Holiday, you've got Ella Fitzgerald, and there's a really great jazz singer called Maxine Sullivan as well, who just has this really unaffected voice, and there's a bit of country tinge to it as well, and she even sang some sort of Celtic songs as well, like just very unusual. And I just thought, you can
that's similar. Like it's sort of a
do
way
your own
in.
thing.
Yeah.
Just be you. You can write whatever style you like. Sing it in your own voice. Don't feel like you have to be someone else.
That'll kind of make you different. That'll stand you. I'll be your
It
own
took a
voice.
while for me to realise that you can actually sing any style of music you like. It doesn't have to have this particular sounding voice because that's what you've grown up thinking it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. I mean, it still is. I'm still learning things all the time. So I would have been, 29 when I wrote my first song. And amazingly enough, on Sunday just gone, because I also work as a sound engineer still.
Oh, wow.
I stopped it for a while, but I've gone back to it. I felt like, so I'm 51 now, and I felt like I was getting old, and I thought, no, I think I'm past it, and I don't understand a lot of the digital desks and blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, well, utter nonsense. You've got decades of experience, right?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can learn this. So
Yeah,
I
exactly. As we've found out, you can learn a lot of things. Alison, if you like,
you're passionate.
All you need is a little book, and then
Just
you're
give me a
playing
book.
violin, and you're doing
I find, just learning by myself, I'm much better. If I have to do it in
That's
front of people, I'm so like scared of looking like a fool, or just because I do ask stupid questions. And one of the most stupid things I've ever said in my life, which came out before I could filter myself, was I was driving along. My husband was driving, I was sitting next to him, and I was looking at the trees that were cut around the
power
telephone,
lines.
the
Yeah,
power lines. And I just went, how do they know? And unfortunately that came out. And Jeff, my husband, goes, did you really just say that? And I was like, nope. And that was that's probably about 15 years ago, and to this day, and now my son does it as well. Who's
about it.
like, how do they know? Especially when it's like so obviously like they're butchered around. I'm just like, So the thought of saying stuff like that to very intelligent teachers, and I just sometimes I have to get the stupid out before I can let the clever in.
Yeah.
It's also kind of hard to go back and have that as you get older and there's a sense of like you need to know everything, and you need our societies really seems to be like working your way up the ladder. Like we talk about meeting those other people at weddings who have those corporate jobs, and they're always just like working their way up and increasing their pay and all of this sort of stuff every year.
It's got to be a goal,
Whereas
otherwise you're a
creatives,
loser.
it's really not like that.
No, it's
There's
not.
so
Sometimes
much
you go across.
adapting and sidestepping, and you find something else that you're really interested in.
Yes.
And so it's not like you're like going down the ladder, but you're
No.
just like following pursuits that
Yeah.
are more interesting
Yep.
to you, and it does involve learning heaps
Yeah,
of
you're
new stuff.
broadening your
Yes.
knowledge
Yeah.
base.
So you
and-
really
Yeah.
kind of have to stay a bit humble. Otherwise,
you
you
do.
find yourself probably a bit stuck.
You will find yourself stuck, and I think you'll find yourself disappointed and perhaps
Yeah.
even bitter.
Yes,
And I think that's
because
something
there's no
you have to watch.
inspiration in that
Ah.
spot, is there?
Yeah.
You're
No.
like, that's the worst place.
I think
for
that's so
someone
important.
to
That's such a
be.
good
Yeah.
point because
If you're learning something because you have to,
Yeah.
it's totally different to you being like, I
And
want to
also-
learn this sound engineering.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's always been about just the passion and this sort of innate need to do it, that I
Yes.
just want to do it. And I remember once before I was performing properly, I had some friends that I met in Melbourne, just through friends of friends. And then when I was learning violin, they were in a band and they were like, you should come and sit around the campfire with us, on a Saturday night and just bring your fiddle. And no one's going to take any
Have a
notice.
little
We'll all
jam.
be drinking beers
Yeah.
and just have a jam with us.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to sort of get better. And that was amazing because they were like, to start with, I was like, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
And then after a while, you realize, no, they don't care.
Yeah.
Just have a bit of fun with it. And then one day they were like, you should come and sit in with us. We're playing at the Lomond. And it was such a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the second set, and there weren't that many people left by this time because it was getting late, and they said, do you want to get up and play some violin with us? And I did. And actually I ended up singing a song. And
Wow.
it was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the bar and I'm like, oh, it was amazing.
Good, covered in
But it
sweat.
felt amazing,
Whoa,
right?
I was just
Oh,
like on
wow.
cloud nine.
Like jittery.
Wow.
Really jittery and excited and all the adrenaline and
Ah.
standing at the bar. And then this guy turns around to me and goes, what did you do that for? Do you think you're good?
What?
And I went, sorry?
Oh my
What
God.
did you do that for? Do you think you're good or something? And I went, oh my God.
How sad does that person have to be?
I was like,
Oh,
no.
that just crushes
just-
me in so
yeah.
many ways.
I was like, no, you have no idea like how nervous I was. And I was like,
Oh
fuck
my God.
off.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh.
Humans are just so shit.
Isn't
aren't
that
they?
weird?
Like,
What a weird thing to say.
That's so.
I mean, obviously they're just caught up in their own shame.
Yeah, exactly. But,
like,
it's so weird. It's like, no,
gosh,
you have
Just
no
wanna,
idea.
like, punch them.
You really want to sort of just explain to
Oh
them,
my
no,
God.
that's never why I do it. In fact,
You almost couldn't write it, though.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
you? Like
someone.
the moment of that person who's on cloud nine after all
if
of
you'd seen my little
this time,
face
just
fall,
like really, and then to have that jerk sit next
Oh
to you
my
at that
God.
moment,
I turned around like beaming.
it almost
like,
couldn't
"Oh,
be
hey."
true.
I went, oh, what? No, it's like it couldn't be more far from the truth. Like,
Yeah.
usually you're up there
script.
going,
Yeah.
oh God, this is awful, and and that you have those moments. And I've spoken to people who are, seen as extremely successful, and you say, are you ever up there going, oh God, this is so boring. Why are people even here? And they're like,
Yeah.
of course,
Does anyone like it?
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I even good at this?
Right.
Especially if you're
Constant.
playing at a festival or something, and then you'll see someone just looking at their phone, or someone
Yes.
yawning, or they get up and
Oh.
leave halfway through
Just
a
like
song.
the loud drunks. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you often find that in comedy.
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
have
There's
Oh,
people
heckling.
Hecklers. It's such a
Heckling
thing
or
that's like
talking
almost
over you.
encouraged with like social
Yeah.
media.
Oh,
it's just so
Oh.
frustrating.
Yeah, it's hard not to take that personally, isn't it? It's good to
Yeah,
hear that
very
really,
hard.
really
Yeah.
good people get that
But
as
at
well.
least we can kind of like as a comedian, you like to a certain extent, you can tell them off. It depends
Mm.
how like
gotta be
how intense
prepared.
they are, how
Yeah,
hard
I mean, you
you
don't
go.
want to start a fight.
Exactly. You can kind of like try to
Yeah.
read the situation and like,
Mhm.
yeah, is everyone else in the crowd on board if I go after
Yes.
this person, kind of thing. At least we have a bit of that control. But as a musician, I mean, you're in the middle of a song. You're not going to stop and like tell
Yeah.
this person off, kind of thing. You have to just like,
Oh, I have though.
oh, you have.
Oh,
Love
Good
it.
on you.
It's a real
On you,
trigger
Alison.
for me. It's a real
Is it?
button
Oh.
pusher for me. I'll just
So
go.
you're really
I'll go
strong
them.
with that.
Oh yeah, it's like how dare
Wow.
you? I've got
Yeah.
a microphone.
Yeah.
You don't, so I'm going to say some things that everyone's going to hear, and
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
and especially if you're having a good gig,
yeah.
it's like this
then
whole
the
room
crowd
are
is on
my
board with
side.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah,
You
wow.
find a real strength with that.
oh God, yeah,
Mm.
I feel mighty in those moments. It's like
Wow.
That's
bring it
huge.
on.
Yeah.
I've never had a woman heckle me. It's always guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, one time, sort of quite early on, I was playing a song that is quite sort of sad, and I was giving my, it's a sad love song, and I was really emoting with it and feeling it. And this guy came up, he was really drunk, and he went,
oh my God,
right in my face. And I was holding my violin. I almost hit him with the note. Like, I just stopped. I stopped the song, and I was like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
I don't know if I'm allowed to
God.
swear on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
but-
go
okay.
for it.
And they chucked him out, but I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like just giving him heaps over the mic, and just saying, "Oh, you must have such a tiny penis."
Yeah,
All
yeah.
this, big man coming up, and like
Yeah.
and he was furious, and he was like, they had to lock the doors because he was trying to get back
Hanging.
in, and
Oh my
yeah.
God.
But I was like, "Oh, maybe I've overstepped the mark." And the other one
Shouldn't have said the penis thing.
comes to mind.
Obviously very sensitive about it.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
seem to have like hit the
Yeah.
his like insecurities dead on.
It's amazing,
I actually have a really big one.
Yeah.
Shut up about it. I'm just
up.
like,
It's funny how it really triggers that reaction in people.
Yep. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
about the size. We all know that.
Yeah.
But it's like just guys do not like to be told that. But it's
Exactly.
the kind of guy that would come and
Yeah.
do that to you. And he'd been to the football and he'd been drinking. And, it was over in Richmond.
Gross.
But anyway, and another time there was a bunch of guys who were on a pub crawl, and they were for some reason sitting at the table in front of the stage. And he really shouldn't have. But I ended up saying he had his cap on backwards, and sorry for everyone who does that, but you might have to edit this out. But anyway, I said to him,
we have exclusively cap wearing listeners.
I said, do you know why guys wear their caps backwards? He's like, no. And I went, so they can fit more cock in their mouth. Because they were very hetero assholes. And his two mates laughed so hard, and they went, come on, we'll go. And then they left, and it was like, and I just thought
The
that
next
might
time
have
you
been
saw
too
him, the
far.
cap was around the underwear.
I just thought, don't do it,
That's
because
mate.
you're gonna be sorry. Like, it's almost like, bring it on. And I think you have to be like that. You have to kind of go, this is my stage. In fact, the great Chris
Exactly.
Wilson said to me once, and I said, how do you sort of cope with if you feel nervous or you're not feeling confident before a gig? And he'd just say, that's your stage. When you're on there, that's your stage. Even if you're only up there for 5 minutes, it's yours. Own it. And it's like, yep. So sometimes if I'm feeling a bit like a fish out of water, or, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I think about that.
Think about
This
that.
is my
Just
stage.
Own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
Wow.
Yep. It's really good. Good advice.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And
Yeah,
is that
that's
what
great
kind of
advice.
keeps you in there? Because it obviously seems like you still have those feelings of
Yeah,
nervousness
I
and
don't-
anxiety.
yeah, I
Do you
still
think
get-
they've gone? It's just the payoff now,
I
so you
think-
can get through it.
Yeah,
Or-
I think partly I know the payoff. Also, I know that not all gigs can be great, and some of them are going to be
Right.
hard, and some of them you
Yes.
just have to get through, and they're the challenging ones where you
Yeah.
go, you know what? No one's really listening, or there's not many people here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play some new songs, or I'm just going to focus on my technique right now. I'm going to use this as like a paid rehearsal. I'm going to see if I can reach those people over there who aren't
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah.
I wonder what I could do to, So I see it as a challenge
Such good
instead.
discipline. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess I've been doing it for long enough now that you go, oh, okay, it's going to be one of these.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
What can I do to enjoy this? What can I
Yeah.
do? Because after all,
Make
it is
for you.
it's
for you.
entertainment as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
So if, sometimes you're going to have a special one, but they can't all be like that.
Yeah.
And it makes you really appreciate the good ones when you do really connect with an audience.
Yeah.
You feel like you're singing well. You feel like
Yeah.
you've played well. Sometimes you go, oh, God, I'm singing so bad right now. But,
Yeah.
ugh, all right, I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to really try and sing well, or I'm going to,
Wow.
sometimes you just feel like you can't. You go,
Yeah.
how do I even do this? I
Yeah.
don't remember. You
Fingers
have a bad
aren't
one.
moving properly.
Yep.
Or yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Or it might be freezing cold,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
or many,
So
many
do you
bad
think
gigs.
kind of well, it's not really pivoting because it's still part of like who you are and what you came through as being a sound engineer.
Mm.
You think having that as like a stable, I guess, income, or is it a stable income?
Have
you found it?
I'm casual.
Okay.
I do have regular gigs that I do sound for, like sound at events
Oh, right.
there.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
So do you think having those though, like it allows you to maybe to not have to do as many of those gigs that are
Yeah.
hard?
Well,
because
yeah,
you've got
it
more
can take the
creative
joy out.
freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
out of it,
it
right?
lets you enjoy
Yeah.
what you really want to with the music.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. So I can pick and choose a bit more now.
Yeah,
instead
you're
of
not like,
going,
oh, that pays really well. It's gonna be really hard. It's like 10 a.m. on a uni
Oh.
open day or something weird,
Oh.
and you're like, oh my god,
I
but
will-
it's so much money.
I always say yes to the good money.
Yeah, okay.
Always.
The prison,
Well,
the
that's
prison
fair enough.
workshop one.
Yeah, that Charles Jenkins is
Charles
talking about. He had to
Jenkins.
do this workshop in the
Is it Malmesbury or
Malmesbury
something?
prison or
Oh,
something. Like a
wow.
weird
Just had this
things that you
amazing
just-
story of like you got through mums.
Yeah.
Like you got through that, you could get through
You
anything
just-
else.
yeah,
you
you
know?
find that strength, I guess. To
Well,
like,
sometimes you think it's going to be. It's usually the ones that you think, oh no, I don't know about this.
yeah.
That they end up being the really good ones.
Right.
Because honestly, it's not about, like, I've had bad gigs in front of big audiences and great gigs. I've had great gigs. Some of the best gigs I've had, there's only been like 12 people there, and yet I've just
Yeah.
had the best time. Because they're all so into it, and
Listening
you feel like you could do anything. It's not about, I don't know. It's so hard to describe. It's about that feeling of community that you're, I don't know. I guess it is hard to describe. I think now that I don't get so terrified about performing, that I really enjoy it. Like I'm on such a high from it.
Yeah.
And I guess it is, I think the adrenaline is all part of that, right? That
Yeah.
to try and
Yes.
embrace it and go, of course you're nervous.
Exactly.
You're about to get up
But
and
it's
sing in front.
excitement too.
Yeah.
I remember someone
Exactly.
saying to me, those butterflies and that little bit of dry in your mouth and you feel a bit scared, try and reframe it in your mind
Yes.
as
Yeah.
excitement.
Yes.
because
Yeah,
it
that's
is
such a big
excitement
thing.
as
Yeah.
well. It's,
Yeah.
it's not just fear. There is that mixed in, but it's also just like you really love this and you want to do a good job and you
Yes.
care about
That's
it.
Yeah.
why you're nervous.
So
because,
if you can just
'Cause you
remind
care.
yourself
Yeah.
of that, then
Yeah.
it's sort of like you can embrace those feelings as
Absolutely.
just being part of the human experience and not part
Yeah.
of you being terrible.
That's so true. And I got that same advice as well. I remember,
Right.
like, it's excitement. I think I read about it. Because I was trying to sort of, how can I get over this,
Yeah.
hurdle of just getting
Feel the
up
fear
there
and do it anyway.
feel the fear. Yep. And because all your technique goes, right, when you're nervous,
When you feel like you're about to die
short-
of fear.
short of breath. Oh, it's awful.
Oh,
Your
yes.
hands
I
shake.
can't imagine singing in those circumstances.
No,
like
it's
with a
really hard.
wavy voice.
Oh
So
god.
at
So you
least
have
the
to-
instrument maybe gives you grounding or something.
Well,
like that.
kind of, but also sometimes it can just feel like this weird thing in your hands. 'cause
God.
you're just like, oh, like it's amazing that adrenaline. It is that fight or flight. Sometimes it makes you go and dig in and go, no, sod this. I'm just gonna really go for it. Or it can make you go, I want to run away.
Yeah.
If it feels like a real, high pressure. I opened for a band called Tanara once at the Melbourne Recital Centre, and it was such an amazing
Wow, it's a
Yeah.
gig that I
beautiful
got.
Centre, yeah.
And the sound was incredible.
Yeah.
And so it was, I was nervous. I had to have a couple of beers first, but then the sound was so good that I could, really hear myself. But I kept that voice, that inner voice was always going, they're not here to see you. So
Ah.
it's fine. It's like they haven't come with
No
any
pressure.
expectations.
Oh, so
about
you're
you.
reframing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could kind of be like, they're not here to see you.
Yeah.
You'll never get
Yeah.
this again.
Yeah,
like,
but a
or kind of
way
thing.
healthier
That would
way
be
is
like
just to
me
be like-
spiraling.
Yeah. But that's the thing. If
But
you're
you
if
could
you're
be
a
like,
support
"It's
for
okay."
someone,
Yeah.
really big, and the place is full for them, then you're like, I'm just here to warm them up. I'm here to
Yeah.
just sing a few songs.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a couple of people out of it that go, this is good. I like it. And
Yeah.
might check me out. Otherwise,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
But it was great, and you're
Right.
not the main course. You're just a little starter. So
Yeah.
it's like out you go.
Mm-mm.
But that dialogue that's always going on. That's why it doesn't help when someone says something mean. Like, what'd you do
Oh,
that
yeah.
for? It's like,
Oh,
you have
no.
no idea of how much crap we give
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yes.
Like, we're our own worst enemy,
Exactly.
creatives. But yeah, going back to sort of the day job idea,
Yeah.
it does take the pressure off performing because, yes, otherwise you say yes to everything. You start asking for gigs all the time. And then if it's like, oh, no, sorry, we're fully booked, blah, 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 you start going, oh, God, I'm not earning anything.
Yes.
And then it makes it all about work rather than, and you're trying to sort of drum up trade. And that's, so now.
I think it can be a trap of like you can start feeling like, well, why do they get to do it?
Yeah.
Or like you start more comparing yourself.
Comparison.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
You're like so desperate and you're like, but they get to have
person's
this
doing a
opportunity.
big
How come
tour.
they're playing that?
Yeah. And sometimes
Yeah.
you get like a thing with venues that will say if you get over this many people, then you'll get this much money, and if it's less than this, then they take more per ticket or something
Right.
to help pay their expenses.
Yeah.
And so then you'll be like, all you're worried about is the
How
numbers.
can I get more people to
How many
come?
people are out there? And it's like, I don't want it to ever be about that. I just want it to be a good gig. I don't want to be worrying about. Like we were talking about,
you don't want to have a marketing degree to like have to do your thing. Especially with all these algorithms.
Yep.
You're trying to do the social media thing, even though I don't. Yeah, it's so
How
hard.
much can you
because
really
how-
achieve in
how-
7 seconds?
Yeah, exactly. Of a
yeah.
video.
That's
and then even
right.
if you post it at the wrong time of day or if you're not posting
Right.
enough, then it gets lost and it's, oh my God,
Yes.
it's so much
Yes.
stress.
And that's not what we're in this for.
No.
That's such a sap
we-
on energy when you
Yeah.
think of like you could just be writing music and
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
the thing that you really
right.
want to put your energy into.
Absolutely. So, if I could, I would get up and just go, right, my job is to
Yeah.
write songs and practice, and that would be amazing. And to go, I've got until 5 p.m. to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe for the first half, I'll go on and update the website or
Yeah.
I'll do those sort of things. And then, I mean, imagine that, the luxury
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then all afternoon, I'm just going to try and write songs. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be such a luxury. I mean, I've got a day job. I've got 2 kids who are teenagers now. I've got, I'm so ridiculously busy
Yes.
that boredom is a luxury.
Yes.
And boredom is what really inspires creativity. It's when you're sitting around
Yeah.
going, I've got nothing to do. And
I
then you go,
say though, it also helps with the writing of anything, right? With any
Mm.
sort of creation is like, I feel like often to just have a full life and to have a lot of things going on
Yeah.
just means like there's a lot of triggering things
yeah,
which you can put into your music
Absolutely.
or into your writing. or-
absolutely. So it's those
Yeah.
quiet moments if I'm in the car. I do like to listen to music, but also I just like to have silence because then
Yeah.
sometimes I get some ideas and then I'll quickly record them into the phone.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I'll have just like loads
So
of
do
things.
you often
Loads of
have
voice notes.
Are you,
Yeah.
are you music first and then lyrics, or is it a bit of both? Or
Can be anything.
Ah.
It can be, a bit of both. Sometimes I'll just get a little tune in my head and then I'll just be like, and then all these like little things in my phone with like a little tune or just one line of
Yeah.
something in my head that I'll just, and then you'll hear the indicator and everything. Sometimes when I'm listening to music, I'll get an idea for something,
Yes.
which is obviously inspired by what I'm listening to, but it doesn't mean it will be like that. It just
Yeah.
makes me think, and I think, I've got an idea. And I just feel that it's going to come out. So I have to
Yeah.
stop and go
Yeah.
and see what comes out.
Wow.
It's like, how do I describe it? It's like there's a burst. I can feel it. It's like,
Yeah.
almost like I need to go to the loo. It's
Yeah.
like, I need to
Need
write
to
a
get
song.
this
There's
out.
It needs to
something-
come out.
Yeah.
right
Something's going to come out right now.
Yeah, like having a baby.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Do you think it's always been like that for you, or is it something that as you've got older now you can recognize it and go like, "This is good. This is the expression that This
I
is
think since
what I
I've
do."
just accepted myself for who I am and gone, this is how I sound. I'm never going to be an amazingly technical guitar player. I'm a self-taught hack. With everything, singing, violin. I'm not very good with music theory. In fact, I'm hopeless at it. So I'm hopeless at maths. I'm really bad. I mean, for Christ's sake, I can be really dumb sometimes. Like thinking the trees grow. That was a split-second thought that unfortunately came out of my mouth. But I've learnt to keep those thoughts in until I've figured out that that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
But, so music theory, no good. It takes, we all learn at different rates and we all learn in different ways. And so I have had other day jobs. I've worked as a teacher's assistant at an autistic school, and music was amazing. So I was part of the music program as well, which isn't what I started doing. I was just like a teacher's assistant, and then got more involved in playing music for them. And there was one girl who she didn't speak. She really didn't have much language at all. She was about 13. She had debilitating autism, and she was like some of them really, they hurt themselves and things. It's quite distressing to see. But music she really loved, and her obsession was triangles. And so I managed to connect with her about triangles, and I said, we should write a song about triangles. Now, it also turned out from sitting and just playing music with her, she had perfect pitch. So I would, and she could name the notes. So she wouldn't talk to any of us, but she did have language, but she was in her own world.
Verbalize herself.
Yeah, exactly. But she could tell me what note I was playing. So I would hold the guitar under the desk, and she would tell me what note I was playing. It was amazing.
Wow.
And so we wrote a song called Black Triangle. So she used to sniff that she would, like, you could cut her out triangles from paper in different colours, and she loved them, and she would hold them all day and she would smell them.
Oh, wow.
And I'd say, what does that one smell like? And she'd say, if it was yellow, it would be lemon or something,
Yeah.
And so we wrote a song about triangles, and she was so engaged. So, I got as much joy out of that, if not more, than going and playing. It's something about maybe it's connecting with people, So I was lucky enough to have that job.
Yeah.
I did that for a few years. Then I had my daughter, and then I had my son, and then when she started school, well, actually it was when he started school, then I got a job doing legal transcription, just low paid kind of casual work, so I could still
do music
around that. Because that's the other thing, isn't it? If you need a day job, it's got to work around.
You can't just get a full-time job in a legal firm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to be leaving that job and be worrying about that job or thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's right. You need the mental freedom.
You do.
You leave it at the door. So
you don't want responsibility.
Do all of your other stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So it does narrow the field a bit, doesn't it? When
It
you're
sure
seeking
does.
the perfect other job.
Which usually means that it's not going to be very high pay.
High paid,
because it's casual,
Yeah.
And so you don't get sick pay or holiday pay or carer's pay or any of that stuff. And that can be tough.
Oh.
So you drag yourself to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come hell or high
It can
water.
be a bit demoralising.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's why the COVID period for me was actually not all bad because
Right.
Because you got the
I got the
whatever
pay.
I
got more pay than I usually got.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I had all this time to be creative.
Yeah.
So that's when
Much freedom. Yeah.
it was incredible, actually. It was like forced break.
Mm.
My kids were not having a good time at school anyway, so they were actually much happier
At home.
at home.
Wow.
And that's when my husband and I we wrote and recorded an album
together.
which was crazy creativity. I have to quickly tell you how we did that. So we made we did all these videos with the Reverse app on our phones just for fun, like sending videos to friends and family, like happy birthday or whatever. And you do it in reverse. So we would do things and we learned how to say things backwards so it would come out forwards.
Oh, right.
And it was
neat.
and the kids were doing it too.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
Wow.
And then we sang happy birthday. And then when it
So
played
how
backwards,
is what is happy
it sounded
birthday
like
backwards?
well, we didn't learn that one
Oh,
backwards.
okay.
We just learned the phrase like happy birthday Liz or whoever, we learned just that. And it sounds so weird. But then when we heard the song backwards, it sounded like some kind of Icelandic folk song. It was really
like kind of haunting.
and kind of beautiful.
Interesting.
And I was like, imagine if we like sang songs, like made songs up or whatever, or even used one of our songs that we've already written and then listen to it backwards and then take the words backwards and try and decipher what it sounds like. So say if you sing a song or make something up and play it, and play it backwards, and it might go, and we grabbed a notepad each, me and my husband, and we sat and we deciphered what we thought it kind of sounded like.
Sounds like. Yeah.
You know, I sniffed a big bag of.
Yeah.
We laughed a lot. And then we would go, well, I didn't get anything for that. What did you get? And then finally we'd put it all together and be like, this is a load of nonsense. And then we kind of like edit it slightly. But the first couple we did, we stuck to it so rigidly that when you play it backwards, it sounds like the song.
Oh, that's
forwards.
neat.
It's so mind-blowingly weird.
Wow.
Anyway, we did one song, and because the phrasing is backwards phrasing for you, so your natural phrasing now is completely different. So it's like it sounds like someone else. It's really weird.
That's so interesting.
It's like saying, you know,
It's like some doppelganger of yourself.
yeah, that you would never sing in that
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
or write those words.
In
The
another
bizarro
dimension.
version.
Yeah. But also your subconscious comes into play. The more we did it, we ended up writing a whole album that you start almost like a subject comes in, because one of the words in the song will be repeated and it becomes something else.
Yeah.
And now you've got this
And now
other...
you're actually singing about that something you didn't intend to sing about,
Yes.
but that's the subconscious.
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So you start piecing it
Love
together,
that.
and that High Ace album was all written like that.
Wow.
Every song.
Wow.
And that's why it sounds a bit weird sometimes. And the phrasing is really weird.
Well, it's very different.
It-
But
it's
like
really
as
different.
in
Yes.
but that's what I mean we've been talking about all along is like we've got to embrace the different.
Yeah,
and,
like,
find
Be
your own
open
thing.
to the creative path.
Yeah.
and
Just
how it-
putting
Well,
it out there. and-
Wow.
And just recently, so we had time to do that during the lockdown, and we wrote the whole album that way.
Yeah.
And we've got a home studio, so we could record at home. But just recently, I watched Twin Peaks for the first time,
Oh,
and they've got a
yes.
whole scene.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
that's
yeah,
backwards. They've learned
yeah.
it
Yes.
backwards.
Yes.
So then it's so weird.
I remember
yes.
that. Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff.
So strange.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
So yeah,
Wow.
I don't think there's anything wrong with, as a musician, it doesn't mean you're a failure, or it doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
as a creative person to have a day job. I think I only know one or two people out of all the creative people I've met that don't have any other job.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
everyone I know, and I know a hell of a lot of creative people. Most of the people I know are the people I work with at the museum are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you suddenly go, of course, we're all
Fine.
exactly.
doing something because we can't afford to just be creatives. I mean,
Yeah.
especially for women, we have children,
Yes.
if we do, and you can't just go on tour. I thought,
No.
you know,
So
just
much
take them with
juggling.
me.
Of so much
Yeah.
stuff.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Yeah.
I did it a few times, and never ever
Yeah.
again would
Wow.
No, I don't recommend taking
Wow.
young children to a festival. Or our kids hated it. They did they weren't into it.
Yeah.
My son would come out on stage, and he put his hand in the back of my amp where there's red hot, tubes
Oh
in
my
there, and
God.
burnt his hand.
Oh
And
my God.
Oh my God.
you know, you
Just
can't.
fun stuff.
Just
Yeah.
family
great,
stuff.
great.
It's not a playground.
I wrote a song on my second album. It's called Rise Above is the song, and it's after I had my son. I found motherhood incredibly difficult. I still do. I haven't been great at it. I've done my best, and that's what we all do. And we forgive our parents after we do it ourselves, and we go, okay, now I get it. I wrote this song about having him and how hard it was, and I was explaining this to the audience. It was at Woodford Folk Festival in Queensland. And unbeknownst to me, he'd come out on stage. And I said, I wrote this about my son. It's called Rise Above. And he went, I think he was about 3 or 4. And he went, oh, I hate this song. Really loudly.
I would have loved it.
It's like, yes. So there is too much to juggle. And, again, I think as I've become older and wiser, I understand that the number one thing to do is please yourself as a creative person. Because if you're not pleasing yourself, then how is anybody else going to enjoy what you're doing? You have to do it for yourself, ultimately.
Right.
That's so true.
And ever since I decided that, I feel like I'm connecting with more people. So the blues trio, I mean, with Kerry Simpson that you mentioned, Opelousas,
Yeah.
we've won awards for both our albums, and we literally were just doing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%, not second guessing what would people like to hear from us. It's like, nah, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And ever since we've started doing that, it's been the most, in quotes, successful thing.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah. Wow.
That to me is the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do
Authenticity.
what pleases you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And be true to yourself. And don't be scared of making a fool of yourself. You kind of have to in creativity. I mean, I would say as an actor, you have to be a clown a lot of the time, right? And do things that are embarrassing.
Yeah, it's almost all embarrassment.
And isn't that what like a lot of acting lessons would be about?
Yeah.
To just get rid of your inhibitions.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where you get to that authentic part of you that
Yeah.
that everyone can connect with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it goes back to connection. And I think
Yep.
if we're not authentically expressing who we are or sitting within
The audience are gonna
what
know.
feels right and what we know we are, it just doesn't feel right. People don't connect with that.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I think especially in Melbourne, we're in this bubble of like real creative people. A lot of the people that come to gigs are creative people themselves, and they'll spot it a mile off if they think it's bullshit.
It's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't
to
mean
us,
anything.
you
What's the
know?
point?
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, like if you're
Yeah.
pretending to be someone else,
Yeah.
like, oh, that voice doesn't sound authentic. It
Yep.
sounds like someone else, or like it's fine to get. Obviously, everyone gets influenced by things.
Yeah, of
but,
course. But you've got to
it's
you've got to
different
be
have your
yourself.
own mark. Yeah,
And that
exactly.
comes with time and experience,
Yeah.
to learn
Yes.
what your own voice
Yeah.
is and what that
Yes.
means.
Yeah.
And how to put all your influences together. And
Yeah.
I think that's
And it
what's
shifts and
difficult
change. Yeah,
as well. When people say, what who are your influences, and you're like, well, just about everything I've
Everyone.
ever
Yeah.
listened to. I mean,
yeah,
Those jerks who stood next to me and said those things.
yeah,
I mean, they
that's
all,
influence.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the music that I love. I
Yes.
love anything from, opera to like I said, Led Zeppelin. I've loved them all the way through.
Yeah.
But I used to go. I was a metalhead when I was like 16. Probably for a good year
yeah,
at least, which is forever when you're that age.
Yeah.
Or, Metallica and all sorts I went to see back
Ah.
then, and there, everything's an influence on you. It's
Yeah.
just this melting pot of your life, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm not ashamed to admit any of the influences. From like saying when I loved Madonna. I mean, who could be more amazing and successful as a woman in the industry than
Yeah.
Madonna? And she would have done it tough. It was
Yeah.
very much a man's world back then,
Yes.
and she's still going.
yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. She's an incredible lady.
Yeah.
Well, Alison,
Wow, it's been
thank you
amazing.
so much.
Alison.
Gosh, honestly, once you get me
Oh.
talking,
Chat.
So good.
it's
So
probably like,
great.
"Gosh, how do we shut her up?"
No,
Rub
so
some
good.
creative ointment all over us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
really
so nice
nice.
to-
It's so
To talk to
inspiring and
like-minded
talk-
people, it's
Yeah.
lovely, isn't it? It's so nice
Ah.
to go. You don't have to explain what it is we do. We just do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you just do it.
It's a calling. It's some
Yeah.
kind of. It's not just a career or it's
Yeah.
not a
No.
hobby. It's your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's your life's work.
Wow.
Oh,
So
thank you so
Thank you so
much
much.
for sharing.
And what would be the best way for people to
Find you and listen to
and
you.
support you?
Mm.
Oh yeah. Well, there's my website which I update, so it's probably not up to date.
As
should go home and do that.
10 years old.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Alison Ferrier. It's Alison with one L, Ferrier, like terrier, but with an F, .com. And then, yeah, that's right. And then Instagram, you'll just find me under
Yeah.
Alison Ferrier. And Facebook, Alison Ferrier Music, I think it is.
So good.
I'm not on TikTok. I mean, I am, but I've only posted
Something
like one
for the
thing.
next, for the future.
Yeah, maybe one day. I need to
Yeah.
probably pay one of my kids to do that for me.
Yeah, you need a great
A family
sister.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank you.
Alison.
Thank
Thanks.
you. What an absolute delight to talk to you both. And obviously, as you could tell, I could just go
Yeah.
forever.
We'll fade you out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should have kept talking.
Yeah. Raywin here, dropping in for a quick plug. I will be in Brisbane on Saturday, October 11th. I'm doing my hour solo show, Sheepish. I'll be at the awesome Good Chat Comedy Club on Caxton Street. Those guys are doing great things in the Brisbane comedy scene. Head to goodchatcomedy.com for tickets. I would love to see you there. Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you liked us, please tell a friend or two. Apparently that's how these things work. We want to acknowledge the incredible stories, culture, resilience and creativity of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, in particular the beautiful lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nations, where this podcast is recorded. Thank you also to Chris Pickering for the music and Vincent Pickering for the logo and animations. And yes, they are our brothers. We're everywhere.
One of the things I noticed at a farm was how big pigs' balls are. Like,
I've
enormous.
not really ever noticed that.
Yeah, I saw one scratching them, like it was scratching them against the fence. Like, I think it was like Collingwood Children's Farm.
I
had
hope
the kids.
it's not a barbed wire fence.
It wasn't.
Could be the last litter they ever had. Just like really giving themselves the operation.
That would make your eyes water. Huge.
DIY.
Like,
wow.
that's one.
Wow.
Like, they're massive. Yeah.
Wow.
Rats are the other creatures that have very large
Big balls.
testicles compared to their body
you
size.
You don't often see it on animals because they're all castrated normally, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So and horse, you never see a usual like a stallion. They're all gelded. So when you see one, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
Balls are huge.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen a horse's balls.
Yeah. Because they're really, I mean, most male animals, they're pretty
tiny.
Volatile.
They're
if
pretty,
they've got their balls.
They really are, aren't
so
they?
no one wants them.
Maybe that
turns them
the
into
answer.
a totally different kind of animal. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Growing up doing pony club, you're never allowed to have a stallion.
No.
If someone did.
It's way too dangerous.
Stay away. Because
Even,
they were just like so
flighty.
much energy and you really couldn't control them.
Yeah. Even a mare on heat was like scary.
Yeah. Really?
Well, I mean, not scary. Like if you were
irritable.
If you were on one. Yeah, exactly. They'd like
very
whine, like kick something. Yeah,
so
exactly.
emotional.
Yeah, it's like crying.
Like constantly hungry.
Yeah.
Sweaty.
Has a water bottle.
Yeah. I remember going into a chemist and the attendant came up. She said, "Can I help you find anything?" And I'm like, "I need sanitary pads and painkillers." And she went, "Is there anything else you need?" And I was just like, "What do you reckon?" Maybe don't hassle me anymore.
Said.
Yeah.
Just get me the things
Just get
I've
me
already
those
asked
things.
for.
Yeah. But it's when you have to ask for things like Rectinol.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hemorrhoids be gone.
Why are they called like
don't know.
such an obvious name? Like Anusol,
Vagisil.
Vagisil. Yeah.
I nearly brushed my teeth with Vagisil the other day because I swear to God,
Gosh.
I just had all these little tubes in a box because I've just moved house.
No.
And, without my glasses on, I grabbed this thing.
The
and
lottery.
I'm like, oh, no.
Wow. One day I can
Not
remember,
quite
like,
minty.
by mistake, I went to clean my eye makeup off, and I was like, it was kind of dark, and I was just like,
Yeah. Oh, no, what was it?
It was nail polish remover.
No
Oh my
way.
God.
Like,
You didn't.
oh my god!
Ow. Wow.
Crazy. Yeah,
That's dangerous.
That was really dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh. I did have a
You'll
fr-
see out of this side.
I did have a friend.
Oh my God.
After a big night and staying overnight,
Be careful.
a friend of ours was in the back of the car, and his name was Larry Roddy. He was amazing, and he was very quiet for a long, long, long time, and he usually chatted all the time. But then eventually he said, "Never clean your teeth with dental glue." And he was kind of talking like that too. 'Cause he'd done the sort of finger toothbrush thing, picked up a tube without his glasses on and stuck his teeth together. So yeah, beware of
Just that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would just start like that. for a while.
It took a while.
Oh my
Took a
god.
while,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Never
What was his name again?
clean your teeth. Larry Roddy.
Larry.
He was
Roddy.
so awesome.
Oh,
and we're like, why is
no.
he so
Name.
quiet?
Yeah. It's actually really pleasant. Like the kids start purposely swapping out
Yeah.
the.
Oh,
Oh my
I don't
god.
know why it keeps happening.
yeah.
Uh,
You're trying to tell me something.